Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with some very anomalous reissues coming from Warner. Some very strange things are happening. I get, these monthly announcements, emails, and they tell me what's coming out. And I just look at them and I go, okay. And the reissue programs are really very interesting because, as you may know, Warner recently did the big boxes of Klemperer. There were two big boxes. There was one of orchestral music and one of choral sacred music stuff. And they still could do an opera box, I guess, or did they do it? I don't know. I don't even remember. Anyway, the bottom line is they've just announced that this thing, wait a minute, here we are, is being re-released on Warner. This is the EMI one, so they changed the little name here. That's it. His Brahms. Now, Klemperer's Brahms is one of those things that should never be out of print. It's some of the most superb, marvelous, magnificent Brahms in the universe, especially the First Symphony and the Third Symphony, and oh my God, the German Requiem. Astonishingly great performances. And this should have always been there. I mean, I just don't understand why they would delete it in the first place. Well, they issued the big box. The big box, of course, was very inexpensive per disc. And so then they start reissuing these, the older Klemperer edition in the smaller boxes. Maybe these are the remastered recordings. I don't know. But the bottom line is, these were always very good sounding, by the way, that it makes no sense at all to have the greatest, or one of the handful of truly great Brahms interpreters having his Brahms stuff disappear and then reappear and then disappear and then reappear and then disappear. Just leave it out there and sell it. I mean, when you've got the greatest stuff in the universe, which is what they have here, why on earth would you go through this constant tumult? I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, so it's coming back in a little box. If you didn't get it the first 400 times, here's your chance. So they just keep doing it. The other thing Warner's doing that is very strange, very, very strange, has to do with Celibidache. Sergiu Celibidache, who's going to have a movie about him, supposedly, with John Malkovich or someone like that playing Celibidache. I can't believe it. Anyway, it is the Bruckner year, as you know. And Bruckner was Celibidache's big composer. That was the guy who, although he played him at half tempo and everything took an hour longer than it was supposed to, really did extraordinary things in Bruckner. You may like it, you may not like it. I think his Bruckner is marvelous. It's sort of a specialty Bruckner, if you want to think of it that way, but it is extraordinary. And some of it, not all of it, but his Munich Bruckner recordings are really pretty terrific. And, the entire Celibidache edition, remember, he didn't make recordings, and he thought recordings weren't music, and he had all this bullshit about epiphenomena, and, of course, as soon as he died, his family immediately jumped on his legacy like a bunch of leeches and authorized all kinds of things to come out. Such is the way of great artists and their families. That's a whole story in and of itself. Anyway, so all this stuff came out. And in fact, you can see it. Let me see if I can do this. It's right there. See, there he is. Oh, here's my finger. How do I do this? There we go. There it is. There's Celibidache. That's now the Celibidache box. Before it was a whole bunch of smaller boxes, one of which is right over here. Eek. There we go. That's his sacred music box. I have them all every which way. And so all of this stuff got issued in big boxes and little boxes, boxes of every possible size, as usual. But the complete box is up there, and it's got like 49 CDs or something like that in it. Now, Warner has just announced that it is re-releasing his Bruckner for the Bruckner year. And that makes sense. You've got Symphonies 3 through 9, the Te Deum, and the Mass in F minor, which is dreadful, but it's a whole other issue. Celibidache was just horrible when it came to choral music and vocal music generally, because he didn't care about what voices could do. He just conducted it slow, and it was like, they're like dying trying to breathe. Anyway, never mind that. The point is, this stuff is going to show up again. Now I have the Bruckner box here somewhere. It's in one of these shelves. But the bottom line is The bottom line is the price on Amazon, which I just looked up, was like $109 for the Bruckner stuff. The Bruckner stuff is 73 through 9. The Masters, what is it, like 10 or 12 discs, okay? It's like $10 a disc is what they're trying to sell it for. However, that big cube over there that I just pointed at, 49 CDs, is available on Amazon, I just checked, for $81. So in other words, the Bruckner is going to sell for $30 more than the entire Celibidache EMI legacy. Now, does that make any sense to you? I mean, is that like, what do they think they're doing? And just to be, not bizarre, I checked this on Amazon UK because I like to do price comparisons, because sometimes American Amazon, I don't know where these numbers come from, ever. They may be third-party sellers getting ready. They may be, you never know. You just never know. So on Amazon UK, the thing was about £75, which is $80 or $90. I mean, but then you've got to pay $20 or about $20 shipping. So it works out to almost the same price as it would cost domestically. Even if you don't have to ship, it's still the same price as the big cube. So what does that mean? Now, it is entirely possible that by the time this thing actually shows up, I think it's scheduled for like late August or September or something like that, the price will have diminished substantially. That often happens. The initial prices you see on Amazon are really a lot higher than what they finally turn out to be, because they don't really know. So that's always a possibility as well. But I just thought it was unbelievably amazing that you could get the complete Celibidache, whether you like them or not isn't the point, for $81. It's a good deal, by the way. I would grab that box while I can if it interests you. And then just these few Bruckner CDs, which are in that box, are going to run you $30 more. Such is the way of the odd and peculiar and demented universe of classical music record sales now. I understand really the allure of streaming when you think of it that way, because you pay one price, you get whatever you want, and if they have it, they have it, and it doesn't cost you any more, and you're in business. Makes a lot of sense to me. It really does, because there's at least a logic and a stability, let's put it that way, behind the pricing of things. This is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. So I don't know how long the big Celibidache box is going to be out. I don't know what Bruckner is going to cost when it finally shows up. But right now, it looks like the world is upside down. It doesn't make any sense at all. So I just thought I'd mention that to you so you could be alerted and keep your eyes out when it happens. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.